Let's get up to speed on the facts unfolding in some of tonight's other stories. Tempe police arrested a 17-year-old accused of killing a Good Samaritan who stopped to help people involved in a car crash. The crash happened late last night near Tempe Town Lake. Investigators believe 5 teenagers were in one of the cars. The Good Samaritan, 22-year-old Joseph DeLeg, stopped to help the driver confront those three of those teenagers. Police say DeLeg had detained 3 of the teens with a gun when a 4th teen showed up, also armed, and shot DeLeg. DeLeg was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. Officers tell us the 17-year-old accused shooter is facing multiple charges, including murder. The music world is saying goodbye to a legend today. Little Richard died at the age of 87. The musician is considered one of rock and roll's founding fathers, and he helped shatter the racial divide on the music charts. Little Richard sold more than 30 million records worldwide, and his influence on other musicians was equally staggering. Talks of another major stimulus package are happening at the nation's capital. Democratic Senators Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and Ed Markey released the Monthly Economic Support Act. The proposal would send $2,000 payments to Americans earning less than $120,000 per year. Parents would get an extra $2,000 per child. The plan would be retroactive to March, and payments would continue 3 months after the Health and Human Services Department declares the public health emergency over. There is a major pushback from Republicans pointing to the fast-growing national debt.